PVC pipe cutter. These work really well. And the other thing you'll want is a drill. So first we'll do the shutoff valve. So first we'll attach it to the bucket. These holes are already cut, which is great. Threads, I'll put this nut on the inside. So you want the washer tight enough so there are no leaks. You can see that's perfect. And now this is the shutoff valve, so this is the off position. And when you turn it straight, it is on and let the water flow. Next, I'm going to install my float valve, and I'm also going to install the 90-degree brass elbow, and I'll show you what those look like. So we'll take this nut off. Now on the inside of our bucket, put the threads of the float valve through, and make sure this 90-degree elbow is tight onto the float valve and that this part is pointing down. And we want to make this very tight. And the reason is, if it's not tight, you can see the float valve can move like this. If it's sideways or it turns all the way around, it is not going to work properly. The only way it'll stop water is to have the blue part on top, the red part on the bottom, and this elbow facing down. And if you'd like, you can use a wrench, but I find that it's easy enough to tighten by hand. We want to make sure both of the washers are inside. You can see these white washers, they're there. So screw on the brass elbow onto the float valve. It should be tight, so no water is able to get out. And now, all right, so now I'm going to attach the garden hose. And this brass elbow is made for garden hose threads. And this is also a garden hose thread. So it should work with any garden hose in the United States. All right, so now I'll turn on the garden hose to make sure that there are no leaks. All right, so the hose is on, and I'll show you how it fills up and then stops. So it's unlimited water supply. And there we go. The float valve has stopped the water. Drink a little water, water will fill back up. So it's really an unlimited source of water for your chickens. Now that it's filled, we'll check it for leaks. So you check around this washer, check around these threads and these threads. And if there are no leaks, that means you tightened it all the way and everything is good. So next thing we'll do is we will attach it to the side of our chicken coop. So you should have a small bag filled with attachment pieces for the water. Now these two small screws are to attach the water to wood, and these two are to attach it to wire, but since we're attaching it to wood, we'll use these screws. So now you'll have your Phillips head bit. Take your two screws, and what I want to do is I want to have the PVC pipe at this level. That's already about a foot off the ground. And I want to have it come under the steps. And I'm going to have it come around this side and then attach to this side of the coop. So because I'm doing that, I want to line up the shutoff valve at the height of the bottom of the coop. So that's right about here. So I'll make a mark here and leave a bit of the screw sticking out so this can come right on top of the screw. All right, so now I'll screw this end in as well. We can put the cone on top so no debris gets inside the water. It's upside down, but you can see right there, 1/2-inch Schedule 40 PVC. Before I even cut it, what you want to do first is loosen the nut, and you should be able to push your PVC pipe in. You are able to just push your pipe in all the way. All you need to do, you'll hear a click, and then you'll screw the nut in all the way. If not, and the washer is somehow getting in the way, you can take the nut all the way off. You'll keep the nut on, then you'll take the washer with the taller side on the right, the smaller side on the left, and you'll put it over the PVC pipe. And now you can push that washer inside the nut. And now put the PVC pipe all the way in until you hear it hit the back. And now you tighten the nut all the way, as tight as you can. And you will see that this kit comes with a tool that looks like this. And for this nut, you'll be using this part of the tool. So I'm going to turn this before I tighten it. And now I can come in like this with my tool and tighten it the rest of the way while holding the pipe in place. There we go. And that's as tight as it can get, and that is now connected to your water. So I can get the pipe in the correct place, I'm going to use one of these clips, and I'm going to take one of the screws for the clips, which is these fatter screws here, and I'm going to screw this pipe onto the corner there so I can get it in a good position. There we go. And now I'll take my pipe and I'll push it into the clip. So if my elbow is going to hug the corner of the chicken coop, and this PVC pipe will go this far into the elbow, about 1 inch from here to here. So I will need to cut the PVC pipe right about here. All right, now I'll push my PVC pipe in and tighten it with my hand for now. And I'll come back in a little and tighten it with the tool. Okay, so now I'm going to install this PVC pipe. I'm going to loosen the nut, push the pipe in as far as it can go, and then I'll tighten the nut. And now I will use this tool to tighten it the rest of the way. All right, snap that in. Okay, that works. And next I'll take my end cap and I'll put it on the end of the line. And you're able to twist this one here while this tool is on this side. So it's kind of like a wrench system. Tool here, one piece here. Now I'll tighten the end cap. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew these two wing nuts. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put the washer here. This is the part that will be going on the front of the PVC pipe. So next I'm going to put this part on the back so it's up against the wall. And then I'll put this part in the front. And now I'll put my two washers on. And now I will drill my hole. You see water coming out. So I'll turn off the valve. And for this setup, I'm going to be using horizontal nipples. So I'm going to take my horizontal nipple, I'm going to screw it in the hole until the washer is flush with the back of the nipple and flush with the front of the PVC T, and I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to check for leaks. Here you can see there are no leaks on the bottom or anywhere else. So now I'm going to test to see if water comes out, and it does. So you can see I already have the washers on the inside. So I'm going to take the nuts completely off. Take the PVC pipe off for just a second. All right, I'm going to put this here and put the nuts back on. All right, there we go. Now once I turn, it's going to be hard to see if there's dripping in the rain, but once I turn the shutoff valve back to the on position, there we go, you'll see these cups start to fill. You see this one fills up and stops, and this one as well. Fills up until it's about 75% full, and then it stops. Never have to fill up another 5-gallon bucket with water again. Just hook up the hose and it's set.